ఓకే. ఇప్పుడు అవుతుంది. రికార్డింగ్ అవుతుందండి. హలో.
Yeah, continue, please.
Okay. So today we'll start the manual testing concepts from starting onwards, and I will cover some of the topics related to the manual testing. So initially, as we are going to discuss about the testing, so first software testing. What is software testing? And there,
Voice is low.
start. Hello, are you able to
Yeah, fine.
hear now? Okay. So we'll start with the what is software testing, and later on we'll discuss the remaining concepts today. And suppose, as we all know, software means collection of some programs which help us to perform some tasks, right? So um, it's a collection of some programs helps us to perform some task. Perform some task. So it is a collection of some programs which helps us to perform some task. So anything is like that only, right? Suppose if we take the OS or anything, or the Word document or Excel sheet document, these all are nothing but some collection of programs which help us to do some tasks, individual respective tasks. So that is the major thing related to what is software. So there will be different types of software, and so why software testing? Next one is software testing. Why? What is software testing? And why we perform the software testing? Why it is necessary to perform software testing? So here, whenever we are building some software, like as it is some collection of set of programs. So once the developers develop that particular software, so if some client asks some requirement to the to some of the companies, so if that particular company developed that software according to the client requirements, and directly if they give once they have developed that particular software, so what may happen here? So they may get some bugs, right? So, suppose their requirement is something. So, if that particular thing is not working according to that requirement, and if something is breaking in between, or if some mistakes are there in that particular thing, so what will happen? Client will spend more and more money for developing that particular software according to their requirements, right? So once they get any issues in that particular software, and after they have provided that particular application to the client, so definitely the investment and everything will be waste for that particular client, right? So in order to avoid that, we need to do the testing of that particular application whenever it is completed. So for that purpose, we'll do software testing, to detect and identify the defects in the software. So if we want to tell, the software testing is to detect and identify the defects in the software. So here the defects means the issues like or the mistakes, suppose if any mistakes are there in the software, so then those will uh, here we'll call it as either defects or bugs like that in the software testing aspect. So the main purpose is to detect and identify if there are any bugs in the software. The main motive of the testing is in order to identify any bugs are there, whether the application is working fine according to the requirement. So that's the main thing why we'll do the software testing, why software testing is required. And the another thing is like why we will do this software testing. So mainly the main objective is to release quality product, to release quality product to the client. So it is nothing but both are interlinked, these 2 points. In order to deliver the quality product according to the requirements by the client, so we need to identify if any bugs are there, right? So uh, if we want to deliver the quality product, we need to identify if any bugs are there before providing that application to the client. So these are the main motive of the software testing which will perform. Mm, that's what we'll do the software. We'll do the testing. So here, quality means what is the quality here? How can we say whether the particular product is a quality product? As we are saying, like in order to uh, provide the quality product to the client, we'll do the testing. So, what is meant by quality here? Quality means there will be no defects. There should be no defects in the application. So here, quality means one of the point is, suppose if we say like, okay, this product is quality product, and we are delivering this product, we are going to deliver this product to the client. But how can we make sure that is the quality product? By saying itself is quality product, it's not correct, right? So we need to make sure some of the points should satisfy in order to say that particular product is a quality product or application. So one of the major point is there should be no defects in the application. So this is one of the point. So there should not be any issues in the application, so that we can mention it as a quality product. That is one of the application. And though there will be no defects, we should consider another some of the points in order to say that is a quality product. That particular product should be delivered on time. Suppose if some client wants to complete that particular product within six months, and though there is no defects in the application, when we are going to uh, provide that particular application to the client, but not within 6 months. If it takes around 9 months, so the extra 3 months, that particular budget will be waste for the client, right? So we should be considered like we should be delivered within on the delivered time. Otherwise, we can't say that is the quality product, though there is no bugs are there. So this is another point, and it should be like within budget. Also, we need to consider. So these are the pointers, main pointers. If suppose we have taken one project like for 100 crores, but if we have completed that with suppose 120 crores or something like that, but it is also not a quality product from the vendor side, right? Vendor means who is providing the service to the client. So we should be considered these are pointers. These are the high level things what I am saying now. generic things in order to applicate understand the application, like why software testing and these are things. And the main points is here meets requirements. So that particular product should meet the requirements, client requirements. Otherwise, suppose if there are no bugs also, no issues, that is working fine, there is no breaking in the application, but it should meet the client requirements exactly, right? So otherwise, uh, we can that will be an issue only if that not meets exact client requirements. So these are the main important points which we should consider in order to deliver the quality product to the client. Okay, so these are the main pointers. So we need to consider while doing the software, while doing the testing, to make sure these all should satisfy. And then here another thing is like going forward, like so here we'll mention as in general in a normal lifetime, so we'll mention as error, and then the bug, and then the failure. So like these three generally will term as like this we'll use in the normal days, normal life, in the same context, but here somewhat it will be different. So like if we want to say like error is nothing but a human mistake. Suppose while doing the coding by the developer, so they may do some manual mistakes. That is the human mistakes. So due to that human mistakes, if something is happening, something is not working, then those will considered as in general normal terminology. So the error so is nothing but human mistakes. So bug means something is not working according to our requirement. So whatever the requirements we have, so if something is, suppose if some functionality is not working according to that particular requirement whenever we are doing the testing, so that will be considered as bug. So suppose when we are doing the testing, so we'll test the application according to the test cases, which is nothing but requirements. So whenever the something the application is not working according to the requirements, then that will be considered as a bug, or we can term it as a defect also. In testing point of view, these two are same. So generally the QA, the testing team will create the bugs whenever something is not working according to the requirements. So mainly the bug is, I will cover this bug and bug life cycle later sessions. So something is not working according to the requirements, which will be termed as a bug, and will create the bugs while doing the testing. So another one is like failure. So like failure means here, suppose if we deliver that particular product, so the development is completed for that particular product, and even the testing is also completed, and uh, we have provided that particular application to the client. And in production environment, after we delivered that application to the client, in production environment, suppose if we are getting any issues, so those will considered as a failures. So mainly in production environment, will term it as a failures, not bugs, not errors. So different places will term it as a different terms. Will find it as different terms in different places. So that will be the error, bug, and failure. Like why will get so as developers are developing the code, then why will get some bugs? why we will get some bugs here when we are doing the software testing. And the main motive of software testing is like we'll get, in order to identify the bugs we'll do. So whenever we are doing software testing, our thinking should be we should get some bugs, we should break the application. That's it. We should think according to only that point. We should break the application. uh, there will be different types of testing, so every testing will be according to that only, in order to find the bugs and break the application. So why will get generally bugs? So as developers are developing the code, and uh, then why will get the bugs? Means here there may be different type of things may happen. So due to that, the bugs will get, we may get. So those are things are mainly like miscommunication. So suppose if mainly here miscommunication means suppose if in the requirements, so I will tell you the software development life cycle later. In that I will tell you the first thing is we'll get the requirements, right? So the requirements will get requirements from client. So whenever we get the requirements from client, and they will develop some user stories, uh, the team, that product team or BAs or so. Once we get that particular user story, so that particular thing, developers will develop the code according to that particular user story. So the same thing, the QA team means the testing team also will test the user story according to that particular requirement. So here parallelly, or one by one. So once the developer completes the development of that particular user story according to that requirement, so they will deploy that code to the QA environment, right? So once they have deployed into the QA means testing environment. Once they develop that particular code to the QA environment, then the testing team will start testing. Testing team start testing. Right? So whenever they are starting testing, they will also they will also look the same user story. By same user story only, what the dev team has referred and developed the developed that functionality, they will also look the same user story, and they will also look the same user story. By using the same user story, they have prepared the test cases before itself. So by using the same test cases, they will start test the application, right? So whenever they are doing that one, so it may happen like by the same user story, developer can understand something. Suppose the same functionality what the client refers, they can understand in one way, but while doing the testing, or the testing team can understand in a different way. So here, suppose if you take the example, when we are doing some, like suppose IRCTC or something, when we are booking the application, like we should get some error message if something is happening, but developer may miss that particular thing, that error message throwing. So because of this one, so that will be considered as an issue in that application. So maybe here maybe developer can understand the right thing and the QA team can understand the wrong, or dev team can understand wrong and QA team can understand right. Both will arise as an issue, and then we need to get clarified there. uh, if that is the case, then we'll create a the bug, and then that will be sorted out in the later stage. So That is one of the major thing here. Understanding the requirements by the QA team and development dev team may be different, so that will be considered as a miscommunication. That is one of the point. And another one is like here, like software complexity. Suppose if the software is more complex, during that time also, if, if some small software and very minimal functionality will be there in that particular thing, then the bugs may get, as it is the straightforward dev team can develop with the minimal bugs. But when there is this when the software is more complex, according to the complexity, the bugs can also will get more bugs. So this is one of the pointer why we'll get the more bugs here. And another one is like changing requirements here. How the thing is like, suppose when we are doing something, when we are in between, changing requirements is another point. So here when we are doing something like developer developed some piece of functionality, and the QA team has tested that particular functionality, but after that, if some requirements got changed, but that may not know by the QA team or something, but this may happen in between. So once the user story has been explained to the QA team and dev team, so during the development team developing that particular user story, as the explanation has been completed before itself for the both the teams. So after that, whenever developer started developing that particular thing, if some requirement has been changed, but that may not convey to the testing team. This may also happen in the real time. So due to the changing requirements, also we may get some bugs. So that is another pointer why we'll get some bugs, why the software has some bugs. So these are the major pointers which we will get the bugs. So as of now, you have any doubts, or I'm going very slow, or is it okay for you? Here only Srini is there, right? Srini, do you have any doubts here, or hello?
No, 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 not it. Good.
Yeah, Anita, as I'm
What do you
doing
mean by
this
complexity?
correct phase.
Yeah,
Hello,
sure. It's good. It's good.
is
Yeah.
it okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
fine. What do you
Okay.
mean by
Then another.
complexity?
Sorry.
What do you mean by complexity? Software complexity.
Software complexity means it is, suppose like if some project may takes years and years, right? There will be like big projects. Suppose if you take the insurance application,
Hmm.
uh, that is big projects, insurance applications, and some applications may be very small applications. So that is the complexity, which involves so many users can use that particular application, and so many functionalities will be there, and so many flows will be there, like end-to-end flows. Like there, they may get so many bugs. Why? Because there will be lot of integration required there.
Hmm.
But if you take very small application or small like complexity wise very small, like there will be not that many users, and not that many flows. Generally like 2 to 3 flows will be there end to end, and which is very straight away. There
Okay.
will be not that much particular integrations are required for the dev team. Like here there will be different types of modules, and like I will tell you in the software development life cycle. So they need to integrate all the things whatever dev team has been developed, right? So
Okay.
considering that there will be less integrations in the less complexity application, and complexity more means there will be more integrations required, which may break somewhere in between. So like that.
Okay.
So these are the major pointers, and so if you don't have any doubts, so we can. So the next thing is the main important thing which we need to consider in interview point perspective also, like software development life cycle. So software development life cycle. So here, like in order to develop one software, or suppose uh, in order to develop any insurance application, if you take an LIC or something like that. So if client provide that particular requirement to any vendor who provides the service, then what will happen? Like that, in order to design that particular application, so like they should follow some process in order to develop that one. So generally in the software industry, like to design, develop, and to test that particular software, there will be some processes which they will follow. So that will be like software, while developing that particular software, what are the processes which the software industry will follow will be termed as software development life cycle. So while developing that particular software, what are the different types of processes which they will follow? So here, software development lifecycle is a process used by software industry to design, develop, and test software application. So mainly, this is the software development lifecycle. So like by using this software development lifecycle, companies has designed their own process models actually. Initially, like here, like if you consider as, so here there will be like I'll tell you what are the different type of things, like waterfall model, and then V model, and there are other models also, but I'm not covering those things. Like these type of things will be there, and what are these types means, so the software industry initially they started using this waterfall model uh, as a software development life cycle. So depend upon their requirement, they used to use, but I will cover that one here. But mainly the software development life cycle is like while developing that particular application, what are the process which they will use in order to design, develop, and test that particular software application. So here the main thing is like agile, which nowadays almost 90%, more than 90%, we are following this agile. This is a separate topic which we need to cover, but here I will cover these two topics. And yeah, so what they have done is like the software industry, in order to follow this one, so initially they have developed some waterfall, some model which is called as waterfall model, uh, to follow this process while design, to develop and test this software application. So waterfall model means here, uh, I have somewhere. Yeah, so this is the waterfall model. So what will happen in waterfall model means, so if we get any requirements from the client, generally what we will do. So as I told you yesterday and today, like requirements, and then the development will complete, and then the testing, and then they will deploy. So like that, the same thing here also will happen. This I, in a high level, I told yesterday and today somewhere. So here, if you see this one, so first we'll get the requirements from the customer. So once we get the requirements from the customer, first uh, uh, some high level people, whether the product team or BAs or someone from our team, so they will get the requirements from the customer. So once they get the requirements from the customer, first they will analyze the requirements. What are the requirements and what is the what may be the complexity of this particular application, and according to that, the business team will be, they will involve in this particular aspect, and they will decide like how complexity, how many resources should be there in order to complete this application, and what are the tools required to complete this application. So those type of high level things they will consider once they get the requirements, and then the requirements also they will get some clarity from the client, from the customer they will get some clarity. And once the requirement here, first the requirement phase should be completed. So here the waterfall model is like till the requirement phase will be completed, the design will not start. So once each and everything is completed in the requirement phase,